In this late-stage capitalism, AI data center-fueled landscape, it is getting increasingly frustrating to find the prices of Xboxes, PS5s, Nintendo Switches, Steam Decks, PCs, PlayStation Portals, you name it. They're all getting more and more expensive. And it's getting to the point where, for some people, they're just choosing not to get new systems outright, and understandably so. The Mangmi Air X came out in 2025 with an MSRP of $90. Unfortunately, that price has since gone up since its launch, but fortunately, that price increase hasn't been a ton. Right now, it's available on AliExpress and on Mangmi's website for about $100. This little Android-based system allows a good bit of versatility for gaming, especially considering its price point, giving you the ability to stream PlayStation or Xbox games, play the handful of Steam-compatible games on this thing, and of course, offers a solid emulation experience as well. This video is made possible by the wonderful viewers like yourself and supporters of our newly launched DigitalCynics.shop. Sony might be trying to take away your physical games in the future, but DigitalCynics.shop has a variety of different merchandise for you to touch, hold, play with, display, wear, whatever you really want to do with it. You bought the damn thing. We got branded coffee mugs, stylish t-shirts, and high-quality mouse pads. That's it. That's all we have right now. Visit our website, support the channel, and buy something for yourself that you can actually own. And to celebrate the new launch for the rest of the month, all products are going to be 15% off. Visit DigitalCynics.shop today, linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. So, Mangmi sent me this Air X unit for review purposes, not a sponsored video or anything like that. I can say whatever I want to, but instead of just reviewing this as an emulation machine, I think there's already plenty of videos out there. I really wanted to approach this review in terms of the value aspect. Is this a good value for a gaming handheld system, especially if I'm dropping $100 on this? What am I getting with that $100 spent? Out of the box, you get the handheld itself, of course. You get a USB-C charging cable, no power brick, sadly, but you do get an included screen protector, which, in my opinion, is a great inclusion. The build quality is decent. I wouldn't necessarily call it premium feeling, but it's not cheaply put together either. I really enjoy the feeling of the D-pad in the hand, and the Hall effect thumbsticks are a great addition. Plus, the customizable little RGB rings behind it are a nice little touch. The bumpers feel admittedly just a touch cheap in terms of the plastic material, but they're responsive, nice and clicky. The triggers feel about equal quality. They feel perfectly fine to press, just a very bog standard analog feeling trigger. The face buttons, very similar to the Switch Lite, are on the smaller side, and they are more of a mushy style button, which in my opinion is actually preferred with handheld systems. I'm not a super big fan of clicky face buttons, but to each their own. They're perfectly solid. It's about the same size as a Switch Lite, just a touch smaller and a little bit thicker, which in my opinion is a good thing. It's got a little bit of curvature where the hands rest and is pretty comfortable in the hands by comparison. The Mangmi Air X also features a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS screen that, honestly, for the system's price, punches a little bit above its weight class. I think the screen looks pretty darn good. Oh yeah, and as far as battery is concerned, it's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, plenty of juice for gaming on this thing. I think it advertises around 4 to 8 hours, I think. I'm not really sure on that, depending on obviously, whatever games you're running on this is going to affect it differently. For me, running this from 100% down to 0, just trying a variety of different games on this system, I got about 5 to 5.5 hours of battery life with this. So yeah, it's going to give you plenty of battery life. All right, so with the hardware overview out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the user experience, starting with emulation. All right, so full disclosure, I'm not the biggest emulation enthusiast out there when it comes to stuff like this. I love setting up a retro game library as much as the next guy, and I love playing emulated games, but when it comes to tinkering with the back end of stuff and really fine-tuning the settings, that's not really my thing. With reviews like this, I, again, like to approach this more from a casual perspective. If you're really looking for something more nitty-gritty into the details and the technical side of the emulation, definitely check out Retro Gaming Core's video. They do a much better job at kind of going into detail on that stuff. When you first power the Mangmi Air X on and set it up, up, you have a handful of emulators already installed. You also have Mangmi's own sort of front-end launcher ready to go. It's pretty basic, but it works well enough as a clean way to launch and organize your ROMs out the gate. The coolest feature with this front end, in my opinion, is the little toggleable desktop mode. By toggling this option, this allows you to choose to either have the system boot into the main Android home screen or automatically have you start it up in the game's launcher. As far as what retro emulation this is capable of handling, it's got a Snapdragon 662 chip inside, so pretty much maxes out at PS1 and 64 generation of systems, but can also handle DS and PSP emulation pretty well. I've honestly had a pretty good time so far playing my ROMs on this system and haven't really noticed any major issues that I would necessarily attribute to hardware. DS emulation has especially been fun thanks to the larger screen, making dual screen viewing comfortable, and of course the touchscreen functionality that is perfectly serviceable to get gold stars and cooking mama with. Now, because this is an Android-based system, using an app like Game Native, you can even play some Steam games on this thing. Obviously, your mileage is going to vary heavily based on what games you own. Now, this isn't going to play any like modern AAA games or anything like that. And there's going to be compatibility issues with some games as well. But the fact that you can actually download Steam games onto the system and play it natively on your hardware using Proton, that's a really cool experience. So especially if you're someone who plays a lot of 2D indie titles, this is going to be great for you. Of course, if you want even greater access to your Steam library, Steam Link is available for this thing, and it works great. Oddly enough, it's even handled Steam Link better than my Steam Deck at times, but honestly, that just could be anecdotal coincidence. Actually, I think that cloud gaming is something that could really be utilized well with the Mangmi Air X. This being an Android device, cloud gaming, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC games are all very doable, with the exception of PlayStation being that you'll need to pay about, $6 for a third-party app, but otherwise it's a pretty smooth experience. With this being $100 as its own gaming system, if you wanted to stream, say, PlayStation games onto your smartphone with a attachable controller, you'd have to get something like the PlayStation approved Backbone, which can vary in price anywhere between $80 to $100 there. Something like the PS Portal is obviously way better in terms of hardware and just overall user experience, but it's $250 and you are limited to PlayStation with that. So the Mangmi's versatility at a lower price point, again, is an attractive option. If I were to give any nitpicks to the system, I do wish that the touchscreen was just a little bit more refined. Like I said before, it's perfectly serviceable, and I actually didn't really have any problems playing any DS games or anything like that, but I still would like to have it be a little bit more fine-tuned with its multi-point touchscreen. I also forgot to mention that this thing does allow for expanded storage with the use of micro SD cards. My second nitpick being, I wish it was included with this system. Even just a smaller, say 32 gigabyte card would be nice to have just as a complete package. When it comes to products like these, there's a lot of mediocre stuff out there. The Mangmi Air X at launch was praised as a budget king for handheld emulator systems. And yeah, even with about 8 months since its initial launch, I'm still inclined to agree with that statement that this is one of the better budget options out there for not just emulation, but just as a solid little gaming handheld device in general. If you have any questions about this product that I didn't necessarily talk about in the video, please do ask away in the comments down below. I'll try to answer everything that I can. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna end the video right